All right, so we are heading into week number 5. So last week was week 4 of marathon training. This is our third marathon. That's going to be July 25th, the halfway to the holidays marathon in Johnstown. It's all kinds of stuff. They've got half marathon. I think they do 10Ks. I can't quite see. I have the promo for it in the frame on the wall, but I can't see it because I got a soda stream in the way. But so we did week 4. Now I recorded the podcast last week on a Thursday. So I was a little ahead of schedule and I did it after my run. So last week on Thursday, I did 7 miles at about an 11-minute pace. It was a scorcher. It was hot out there. It was one of my first runs where I got beat up just by the heat, but my goal, thankfully, for this whole training block is to get mileage on my legs, but not really push the cardio side. And the way the heat has been up until like the last couple of days, it's been a good strategy for me because even if I wanted to push my pace, I couldn't do it, and I would probably be disappointed if I was trying to. So Thursday was 7 miles, 11-minute pace. That's about as easy as it gets for me. And then at Friday I did 3.3, which is like a 5K. I'll probably do the same thing today, but this was last week. 10-minute pace. Whenever I do like a 5K distance, that route for me, there about half of it is downhill, like a slight downgrade, and I have a tendency to want to like kick my pace up. So yeah, I'll probably do that again today because I want to take it easy. Because what I'm attempting to do is I started doing this new route. I shared some clips from my run last week. I think I did miles like, I don't know, it was like mile 3, 5, 4, something like that. I think it was mile 4, 8, 12, and then 14. The route that I'm attempting has a ton of elevation or grade. One of the biggest hills from my childhood is on it. I shared some of that from on Instagram and Substack last week, just as a post. But I was able to run. I hit the hill right around mile 4 or 5, I think, in my run. And I was able to run, like lightly run, easy run, about halfway up the hill. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get to a point where I can get all the way up that hill, and then I can break, if you will, but just walk for a little bit. And then I want to be able to get to the end of that road. Now, this road that I'm running is the road that I grew up on, and it has a couple steep hills or steep inclines that are followed by steep drop-offs. It's all road. It's not like trail or anything. It's not super, like when I say drop-offs, if you're in the trail running community, you're going to be like, dude, that does not qualify. So this is all road. But if I go the full distance of what I've mapped out, it should be around a 16 or 17 mile run. Last week it was very hot. Last Saturday I made it 14 miles. In a weird turn of events, there was also like some activity going on. There was a shooting in that area. So, it was kind of I kind of just didn't want to be out there. When I got to where I could have pushed another mile, and I think it's like a mile and a quarter to get to the end of the road. I was about halfway done with all of my, electrolytes, my water, my gels, everything was kind of like running out. And I was like, let's not put myself in a situation. In fact, if you watch the videos that I posted, at my last video, I admitted that I had called my son to come pick me up and he wasn't able to come get me. So I had to finish it. It went from mile 12 to mile 14, but I was done at mile 12 for that long run. But it was a good long run. It did what it needed to do. It got me time on my legs. I was sore, a lot of walking, but not. So the thing is, I think my end pace was like 11:20. And if I'm doing that on that hilly, incline, that type of a run, when I get to the marathon, in theory, I should be able to. So right now I'm just trying to break 5 hours because I haven't been able to do that. I can walk. I can take some easy points in if I need to, and I probably should do that. And this taught me that even with that being a 14-mile run and walking a lot and taking it easy, I still was at a better pace than either of my first 2 marathons. So while it was difficult, it was encouraging to say, look, you can walk a lot and still beat this time that you had in the past. So it was good for that. Sunday, I did 5 easy miles. Things started to cool down. We had a lot of storms and stuff earlier this week, so things kind of started to cool down. We're back into the 50s and 60s again. We were up to the 80s by, I think, Saturday we got into the 80s. I know Thursday, Friday we were pretty far up there in the temperature, but now we're back into like the 50s and 60s again. So Sunday I did 5 easy miles. Monday I did 3 very easy miles, and I threw in some mobility and stretching. I probably will do that again today. I'm trying to do this twice a week where I just kind of work, particularly my right leg. No weights. That's why I'm calling it mobility and strength, because I'm not really throwing weights on right now. I'm just trying to do lateral strengthening, because I feel like something like side to side is where the weakness is for me. It seems to activate the parts of my my glutes and my quad where I feel the pain when I start cramping. Calf as well. I was doing some single leg calf raises, so I can't really accomplish a whole lot in the time frame I have. I only had 8 weeks for this, so we're already halfway through this training block, and then we're going to be right back into marathon. So the goal right now is to just show up and be able to complete this next marathon, hopefully in under 5 hours, but we're not going to have a time goal. We're just going to get it done, try to get the fueling right, and then prepare for the Marine Corps at the end of the year. So yeah, I mean, that was Monday. Tuesday I did 5.5. Tuesday was a good day. It was the first time since the Buffalo Marathon. So like we're 4 weeks out, and the first time that I really felt like I could run what I would call my pace. And what I mean by my pace is like where I feel like I'm running fast, and it doesn't feel like I'm really pushing myself. That's kind of what I mean by that, by my pace. And it was 5.5 miles at 9:30, but the final time's a little deceptive. So the first like 2.5 miles, maybe almost 3 miles, I was kind of like doing 9:40s and 10s. And then I was able to just like go, and I was able to hit like, I think I did like 8:30, maybe it was 8:40s. So I was able to get below like sub 9 minute miles back to back at the tail end of that run. And it felt good. It felt like, yeah, I do have this in me. So Wednesday I just did, because I did go a little hard on Tuesday. Wednesday I did seven. I said 7.25, but it's more like 7.15 at a pretty easy pace. And then yesterday, so we get 2 Thursdays in here, I did 3 easy miles, and probably do, like I said, I'll probably do something similar to that today, just so that I can prepare for the long run tomorrow. I really need to get out earlier on Fridays or on Saturdays when I do the long run. I have to do that, because last week I think I left around 9. It's like 8:30 or 9, and I was struggling, man. I was really struggling with the heat. So hopefully I can get out earlier tomorrow. We'll see. My sleep schedule is always so jacked up after working all week. I switch from nights to days, and the best time to go is first thing in the morning. Sometimes I don't wake up first thing in the morning, so it just depends on how the sleep goes. But my takeaway from this week of running is I'm feeling much better physically. One of the questions that you see people ask a lot of times is like, how long does it take to recover from a marathon? And I think that's like a multi-tiered question, because I think I've said this before. 1 week after the marathon, I could have run a 10K, 6 miles. I could have run a pretty decent 10K. And I'm going to have to do that coming up after this next marathon. But it didn't feel the greatest. Like I could do it, but it didn't feel the greatest. Like you just don't feel like you're 100%. 2 weeks after the marathon, it's like your mind is telling you and your body is saying you're okay. But the second you start going, there's like a level you can't clear, or like a part of your athleticism that you can't access yet. And like I said, this past Tuesday, we're talking almost 4 weeks out from the last marathon. That was the first time, so we're talking 3.5 weeks, that I really felt like, oh, we can unload, we can do 8.5, so I can sprint. Sprinting for me is 8, which probably to some people sounds ridiculous, but yeah, I mean, feeling much better physically. And my takeaway was like my Tuesday run, I got those 8:30s, so that felt good. My legs are still a little bit sore, but I will say the strength and mobility that I did on Tuesday, or that I did on Monday, really helped. I could tell that it had an effect, Tuesday was the day that I really felt good. And it was the day after I did that. So I need to make that a priority today, get that done, and then make that a consistent part of the rest of my training for this training block. I mean, really, this being such a short training block, I'm probably two weeks away. Let me pull the calendar up and see. So if I taper 2 weeks from the 25th, that's going to put me at, well, that's not right. Oh, yeah, I guess that is right. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really only got like 2.5 weeks of training if I do a 2-week taper. I guess I'll judge that based on how I feel. I do plan to do a 16 miles tomorrow. That run tomorrow is going to really dictate how I proceed for the rest of this very short training block. We'll just see. I mean, at this point, I'm just treating the Buffalo Marathon as one of my long runs for this next marathon. After that, I have a 10K in Little Miami, which is like near Cincinnati, I think, in Ohio. And then I'm probably going to take a break I'll still be running, but I'm probably going to take a break from the training and just give myself a couple of weeks because I got into this 100-day streak that I'm trying to do too. So I've been running every day. So by the time I get done with those 2 races, I'm really going to be ready to just pack it in for a couple of weeks, take it easy, and really let my body have a chance to heal. It'll be a perfect time for it too, because it'll be August. The heat's going to be probably its worst in this area. I'll still want to get out there, but yeah, that's where we're at with the training. That's how, halfway to the holidays, July 25th, I'll try to post some stuff to give you guys an idea on how to track me. But yeah, that's where we're at with the running. That's how this past week and a half, really, because we're recording this on a Friday. We recorded last week on a Thursday. So yeah, looking forward to probably my hardest training week this next week before we start to slowly take things back. So
No quit, no quit. Building their wall. While they talk about us. All they talk about us. Educated, experienced, still not credible. So we embraced it. Now we're uncredible.